The World Cup of Hockey is an international ice hockey tournament. Inaugurated in 1996, it was the successor to the previous Canada Cup, which ran from 1976 to 1991. The tournament occurred twice on an irregular basis, with the United States winning in 1996 and Canada winning in 2004. A third edition is scheduled for 2016, after which the tournament will, for the first time ever, be held on a regular basis every 4 years, alternating biannually with a planned All-Star Series between North America and Europe. The World Cup of Hockey is organized by the National Hockey League, unlike the annual World Ice Hockey Championships and quadrennial Olympic tournament, both sanctioned by the International Ice Hockey Federation. World Cup games are played under NHL rules and not those of the IIHF, and the tournament occurs prior to the NHL pre-season, allowing for all of the best players in the world to be available, unlike the World Championships, which overlaps with the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. History Canada Cup The World Cup of Hockey was preceded by the Canada Cup, which began in 1976 in a combined effort from Doug Fisher of Hockey Canada and Alan Eagleson of the NHL Players Association. Taking inspiration from soccer's FIFA World Cup, Eagleson proposed a new tournament that would bring together all the top hockey-playing nations. After successful negotiations with hockey officials from the Soviet Union in September 1974, Eagleson began arranging the Canada Cup tournament, which debuted in 1976. It was the first international ice hockey tournament that allowed hockey nations to field their top players, as the Winter Olympics was a strictly amateur competition and the annual World Championships clashed with the Stanley Cup playoffs. The tournaments, held every 3 to 5 years, took place in North American venues prior to the start of the National Hockey League regular season. 6 teams competed in each edition. Of the 5 Canada Cup tournaments, 4 were won by Canada, while the Soviet Union won one in 1981. World Cup of Hockey In 1996, the Canada Cup was officially replaced by the World Cup of Hockey. The Canada Cup trophy was retired. The tournament expanded to 8 teams, as the national teams of Canada, United States, Czech Republic, Finland, Russia and Sweden, popularly dubbed as the Big Six, were joined by Germany and Slovakia. The United States defeated Canada to win the inaugural event. 8 years later, the second installment of the World Cup of Hockey took place in 2004, just prior to the 2004 Euro 05 NHL lockout. Canada won its first tournament championship, defeating the Czech Republic in the semi-finals and Finland in the final match. On January 24, 2015, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman announced the 2016 World Cup of Hockey, which will be held in September 2016 at Air Canada Centre in Toronto. The 2016 edition will feature a slightly modified format. Alongside the Big Six countries, there will be 2 All-Star teams, consisting of Team Europe and an Under-23 Team North America. For the 2020 edition, the All-Star teams will be replaced by qualifying teams. There are also plans for a spin-off event beginning in 2018, which would pit a European All-Star team against a North American All-Star team in a 5 or 7 game series. This event would also occur every 4 years, alternating biannually with the World Cup of Hockey. These moves are intended, primarily, to help expand the international prominence of the NHL Trophy. In 2004, Canadian architect Frank Gehry designed a new trophy for the tournament. It is made from a composite alloy of copper and nickel as well as solid cast urethane plastic. The trophy was criticized by the sports community, noting the Toronto Sun's headline, "What is that?" Results. See also, National Hockey League, International Ice Hockey Federation, Ice Hockey World Championships, World Professional Hockey Championships, Best on Best, 1972 Summit Series, 1974 Summit Series, Canada Cup, Ice Hockey at the Olympic Games, Super Series 76-77, Super Series, Subway Super Series, 2007 Super Series, NHL Challenge, Renders vs 87, Victoria Cup, List of KHL vs NHL games, List of international ice hockey competitions featuring NHL players, List of international games played by NHL teams. References. Marwan Courtelaire, Stefan, International Ice Hockey Encyclopedia 1904-2005/Bot GmbH Norderstedt, 2005 ISBN 3-8334-4189-5.